I actually got it right this morning. Did you see that?
Okay. You know, every now and then, a baseball player will hit a home run. So yeah, that's a good thing.
I actually hit a home run today.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
all right.
Right
Good
out of the
morning.
park.
It's Boogie with the Bowl. It's Monday morning caffeine. Everyone, grab your cup if you want. Take a quick uh,
Or two.
a sip in honor of Scott Adams, who
We have a lid on our cup,
I
Dave.
have a lid on my cup,
Good.
and my cup is far away from the important technology.
There you go. That's all that matters.
Dallas Chromebook, and it's sitting next to one of my tablets, but I'm not going to worry about that this morning. Let's see. Where's your cup sitting on your desk? Oops. Did I lose you for a second? I think, wait a minute. I might have gone too low. No? Did I lose you for a second? Oh, God. We're going to have this situation again. Did I lose you for a second? I can't hear you. No. Let's see. Let me try one more thing. Nope, we're there. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. You didn't change anything, did you? There. No? Nope. I had you, then all of a sudden I lost you. I turned, I looked at this, and we're up loud enough. I just wanted to make sure you can't hear me in your headphones. You can hear me in your headphones. Okay, all right. He's got to pop out and come back in, and hopefully that will take care of it. That will come. That will take care of it. I hope. We'll wait and see. But anyway, it's Boogie with the Bull. He does not like to be our friend. And there's Randy. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. We're doing Verizon commercials this morning.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear
Anyways,
you.
what was your question?
Uh, where's your coffee cup? Is your coffee cup away from your technology?
Well, it's on either side of my keyboard, but it has a very nice airtight lid, so with like a little gap. So if it's going to tip over, it's not going to spill a lot. But I'm very careful.
Good.
I have a full size office desk that a lady down the street a few years back was moving, and she didn't want to take it with her, so I got it for free.
Yep.
So it's a huge, beautiful desk, mahogany. But so plenty of room for my cups. Anyways,
Anyway,
so did you want to start off today and then we was going to some general conversation, or what did you want to do?
I figured I would just throw it into general conversation. I mean, I didn't follow quote unquote real news, and what I turned out to watch was basically reruns of old things, so it really wasn't worth bringing them up again. Although the most interesting one I did read, I didn't go back to see how old it might have been, was a gentleman who they thought died, and they wheeled him in to harvest his organs
Oh,
and
the old club.
realized he was alive.
Oh,
And I
geez.
mean, he told the surgeon that he clearly was alive. And the surgeon then refused to do the operation, and he is, in fact, still alive. I think this was 3 years ago. And it just seemed very interesting that I guess you have to watch everybody when you go into one of those surgeries. I
Yeah,
guess.
I've had in my lifetime, I've had more than my fair share of surgeries. I had, four knee replacements. Not that I have four knees, just that two surgeons screwed up, and I had to get the work done twice over.
Yep.
And the nice one of the things about that is that the doctor comes in and he's chit chat. How you doing, Mr. Rose? I'm doing okay. He said, "Well, we'll get you fixed up, and we'll get you ordered in a surgery here in a moment. So, which leg are we doing today, Mr. Rhodes?" You're doing my right leg. Okay. He puts a big X on my right leg with his marker, and he signs his initials to it. Right.
Mhm.
So then the nurse comes in later. She says, "Okay, Miss Rose, so which leg are we doing today?" She has to shave what little bit of hair I have off my knee, off my
Yep.
leg. And I said, "You're doing the right leg." "Okay, Miss Rose." And she shaves my right leg, and she signs off on it, showing that she knows this is the right leg. So then when I finally go on the surgery, as I'm getting ready to pass out, they said, "Okay, Mister, what leg are we doing today?" Oh, God.
Yeah. I wonder.
Right leg. Okay, right leg. And he signs off on it. And then I wake up, everything's honky dory fine. So my hospital makes damn sure that they're operating on the right. I mean, at least my experience has been that they're working on the right body part. I mean, I've heard nightmares where people go in. In fact, I was watching this one judge show, and the lady went in for her left leg to be fixed, and the guy took off the right leg. And I was like, "Holy shit! How did you make a screw like that?" But yeah, so when you go in the hospital, make damn sure they got the instructions right before you start going under, because they always make you sign that waiver saying you won't sue the doctor if things go wrong, right?
Right.
Which I think is bullshit because you never know what happens. I mean, I've heard nightmares where people years later they go back to the doctor for some kind of problem, and here they left some tools inside a chest cavity or an old a rag, or something like that. It's a holy crap.
Yep.
I know when I had my
Right. Or your lungs collapse and they don't tell you, which Donna just said.
Yeah. I had my right leg done years back, and the guy refused to admit that he made a mistake and put the wrong size in. So I went to a different surgeon, and he acknowledged, yes, it's the wrong size. Let's get the right one in. So he got the right one in. But what happened was that was the year that the manufacturer of the glue that holds your metal knee together, they had a defect in the glue. And years later, I'm suffering like crazy. And the second surgeon refused to acknowledge what was going on. So I went to a third surgeon, and he looked into it. He put a camera down inside my knee and found out that the knee was falling apart. The glue didn't hold. So that was the third time for that freaking knee. But yeah, today, going into major surgery, make damn sure that everyone has their ducks in a row.
I've wondered off and on if sometimes they're just doing it as a game to make sure you're alert and able to tell them, no, it's not the left eye, it's the right eye.
Yeah.
It's been the right eye. And, maybe the left eye could improve a little bit by getting a shot, but it's definitely a right eye problem. And for people like me, it's best to have someone with you who can stand up for you and say, no, it's the right eye, it's not the left eye.
The guy that just died, Jamal, I believe his name is
Jamal Malcolm Warner.
So he was in this TV series for several years. He was a doctor. Yep. And he was a surgeon. I mean, phenomenal. He knew everything, right?
You know what he was in before?
I know he
cut you off, but he played Theo on the Cosby Show.
Oh yeah. I remember that. That's when he first got started.
The only son.
He also had. He also was currently on the TV series Alert. That was his last gig before he died. But we'll talk about that in a minute, because since there's some more evidence coming out about how he died. But so he's in this TV series, right?
Yep.
And I can almost testify to the reality of how those doctors are. I'll tell you in a second. This other doctor is apparently working on someone's knee that I got broken, or whatever, right? And she just loved the blood and gore and the blood splattering all over her face and her body. And she was, oh, this is great, yeah, yeah, yeah. And and she's cracking his leg open and she's sawing away to get. And I hate to say it, that's real shit. Because no, I'm dead serious. Because when I had my knee replaced the first time, I knew what the hell was going on, and they go in with this damn device to break the bone, right? To get in there and then cut and slice to pull that bad knee out. That's real shit. And and while they're doing all that, they're talking about their upcoming golfing tournament. And it's like, hey, concentrate on what you're doing here. Don't worry about golf right now. And there was another time where I had my heart had all kinds of multiple beats, right? Your heart beats with electric current, right?
Mhm.
So it has this electric current and beats, electric current and beats, right? So mine was having too many. It was just like, right? So they had to go in there and burn the parts of the heart to get rid of those extra beats, right? And you're awake for it. So here I am, totally wide awake. While they're inside my heart, and they're talking about everything is anything, and I think to myself, will you please concentrate? You're inside my damn heart, right?
Yep.
And then I started. I said, "What is that?" I said, "What do you mean?" I smell something burning. What is that? What's burning? Oh, that's your heart. Don't worry about that. That's supposed to be like that. Yes, so they're
Could
burning.
you imagine if they were talking about the brain surgery they were doing and playing golf later that weekend, and all of a sudden they move the instruments so it stimulates your part of your brain that controls the golf game, and they say something and you say no, use this club on that shot, because it could be really interesting. The only reason I say that is that I was not very athletic at all in my junior high and high school days. So the way I earned my letter, my block H, was by being an equipment manager. And I got to the point where I could hand someone a bat that they didn't always use and say, use this bat today. And when he looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about? Use this bat today. And when he hit a home run with like 2 or 3 people on base and racked in like 4 or 5 points, he later came up to me and said, you were right. Yeah. And I said, well, this is what I have to do. This is what I do. And,
sometimes being on the outside looking in, you can see things that other people can't see. So more's coming out about Jamal. So he and his daughter were in the ocean swimming, right? And this big wave came in and grabbed both of them, right? And they were struggling, and he was trying to keep his daughter afloat. And people on the shore saw what was going on, so they rushed out to him. And they're going to him first. And he said, no, save my daughter, take her first. So they had this surfboard that they used to put her on it to take her away. And then when he saw that she was safe, then he said, come get me. And he was on his back, right? And by the time they got to him, well, he had drowned. And they tried for 45 minutes to revive him. And they just couldn't bring him. So this is what fathers do. Fathers protect their children, even if it means giving up their own life. And that is the sign of a very good father.
True. And as a son in that situation looking in, I don't know what I would do. Of course, you don't want to see your father or your mother or whoever pass away, And so I don't know what you do. But anyone watching, it's Boogie with the Bull Monday Morning Caffeine. It's live on the Dave Glovin profile on Facebook and over on YouTube, somewhere on the Boogie with the Bull channel. It doesn't always land live while we're doing it, but it does sometimes land over there. But I'm not worried about it. And we're looking around at other places, and we can talk about that later. But what else, Mr. Rhodes?
So, Trump is in Scotland right now doing this thing, and of course, he's his heritage comes from Scotland, and he has some massive properties. He has golf courses in Scotland. So he has a big investment in Scotland. So he's over there talking to him, making some big trade deals with the EU and so forth. And I want to show you this picture. Just give me a second here. Someone happened to take notice to something on his leg. I'm pretty sure I have it here. Just give me a break. So here it is. So someone took notice to something on his leg. Get back here. Go there. Go to share.
Share.
There we go. Okay.
There it is. Randy Rhodes wants to share something.
Yes, he does.
Go ahead, Colonel.
So you see this here?
Yes.
So people are starting to say that his mind is going. He's starting to have cognitive issues, and he's peeing himself. And that device on his leg is a catheter to catch his urine.
It could be, but the man in his 70s took a shot once, was shot at a second time. They showed a picture of him walking up the stairs to Air Force One, and I'm still convinced that staircase is just longer than it needs to be. Anybody could have tripped going up those stairs.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's a difference between having a leg problem, if the leg is the problem, or maybe having a problem with incontinence, because JFK, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR, was in a wheelchair and no one seemed to bother him. And I'm sure he had to get out of the chair to do his business every now and then. So
from my standpoint, knowing what I went through with my knees and so forth, see that both legs have similar extrusion on it. I'm thinking more to the fact that they might just be leg or knee braces.
It could be. But I guess where I'm at is people seem to worry about things that they shouldn't worry about because they're not a problem. Seeing President Trump possibly wearing a brace because his leg might be hurting, or there might be more to the story, maybe that's okay. But the mind of Donald John Trump is different than the mind of Joseph Robinette Biden. And it does not look like Joe Biden was able to do his job, and there may have been a lot of people running around with the auto pen signing his name on whatever they wanted. And the difference is that Donald John Trump says he doesn't use an auto pen, and even if he did, you wouldn't have it unless he said it was okay for you to use it. So, where are we? We're at a point where Barack Hussein Obama's plan kind of got foiled. We're at a point where Tulsi Gabbard, the National Intelligence Director, said, I got proof. And she's evidently gone public. This. These people have messed you up. America, and it's time that you become aware.
Yeah, and talking about being aware, uh, Trump is always out with what he has to say, right? He doesn't hold anything back.
Hmm.
So he was there, and he was saying how, let me get, where was it? Ba, ba, ba. He was saying about the uh, to the leaders of the EU. He said, "Better be careful, because if you're," I'm almost forget the exact words here. Um, Trump issued a stern warning to European leaders, accusing them of allowing a horrible invasion of illegal migrants and warning that mass immigration is killing the continent. Okay, so and what the hell was
It
that?
happened here.
Huh?
It happened here.
Yeah, and that's what he's saying. He's saying that uh, he was able to secure our own border
Hmm.
and cut off the inflow of illegals because he's right. You know, and I've said this before in other shows, and I've kind of gotten tamped down about it
Hmm.
that uh, the Muslims are doing reversal of what the Christians did thousands of years ago.
Right.
Thousands of years ago, the various Christian nations went into the Middle East, obviously for
Hmm.
their wealth, but also to convert them from
Right.
being Muslims to being, Christians.
Right.
And again, and it was convert or you're
Yep.
gone.
Yep.
So they're just doing the reversal. That they're coming into our
Right.
countries now, taking over our land, and saying to us, either you convert to being Muslim or off
Right.
comes your head.
And
I mean,
I think the alternative is that if you got in here and you don't like it here, it's not change here to the way you were wherever you were. It's go home to wherever you were and leave us to be our way. The Zohan Mam, Mamdani, the mayor candidate in New York, again, you know, went to Uganda, had his wedding over the weekend with masked security people and cell phone jammers. So you could not pick up your cell phone at his wedding and take footage and send it to someone who wasn't there. You just couldn't do it. Or send it to the press, send it to the media or whatever you were going to do. You just couldn't do it. But the bottom line to me is I understand his family is from there and his parents may not be able to travel. But, to me, that sets a precedent that when the mayor of New York is not happy at the people of New York City, hop a plane to Uganda. You know, pass a policy and hop a plane to Uganda. What the hello is the point of that?
um, you know, I'm hoping and praying that he does not get enough votes. But with the way the Democrats and the left cheat all the time, he's probably going to get in. They were doing the newscasters were going out into the streets asking the people in New York, "What do you think of this?" And everyone they asked, was against it. Well, okay, so but at the same time, you can't say that's a real
Right.
pulling other people because you don't know who they asked and you don't know what they kept out for the show's purposes. But to for us, well, of course, New York is a changing city with all the influx of the illegals and so forth. It's not the New York of back in the day of the mobs. Um,
Maybe it
uh,
should go back to that only because it's I called it one of the financial centers of the world
it
the
used
other
to be,
day
yeah.
on a post, and it's like that side is trying to tear that apart and make it a slum like everywhere else. And they're going to do that, and they're going to take it down. And Kathy Hochul, the mayor, who is one of them, says, to a lot of stuff, no, I'm tired of this crap. I understand we all tried to do it, but I'm tired of this crap. $65 million to help transgender children.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do that. You're the city of New York. You're not the state of New York. And even as the state of New York, I wouldn't have the authority to say that's what I'm going to do. It's a new game where everybody needs to coexist with everybody, as I often say. And, a mayor who thinks he's the war is just, to me, really isn't going to do it. I think what he's going to find is, for lack of putting it better, Republicans come out of the closet and go vote. And even Democrats come out and say, we're not doing this anymore. We don't have to be Republicans, but we're not doing it anymore. And we're going to hold you guys accountable for what we want and what you need to do. Good morning, Susanna Cardo, who will be with Randy, I believe, on Thursday.
Yes. Okay. We're getting ready to talk about that in a second.
Yeah. Thursday at 7:00, I believe. Randy and others, which Randy will tell you about as soon as I shut up and stop talking, will tell you.
Hallelujah.
Go ahead, boss. Tell them. No.
Yes.
I understand. Go ahead. Tell them.
So hang on a second. Let me do this right. Let me clear my screen. One of the nice things about having all this desktop space on my computer is being able to show a bunch of shit. Let me get you over there. And I have this here. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my God.
Randy does that. We're making some changes behind the scenes here at.
Yes, we are rearranging things here.
I don't care what anybody says, what anybody hears. If Randy comes in and says, hey, I need Thursday at 7:00 to do something with Susan Accardo, which he has, I'm going to say, go ahead and do it. If I go to Randy and say, I need Thursday alone to do something with somebody, Randy's probably going to do it. All I'm going to say is you have to, before we show any pictures, you have to get permission to make
sure. I do have it.
All right. So then I will go ahead and put that back up on the screen. But Randy and others, and Randy is going to tell you about it.
Okay, so this picture is Suzanne Arcado. She is a young, I'll be nice, I'll say young woman, because my mom and dad always said you never guess the age of a woman. So this is Suzanne Arcado. She was sex trafficked for quite some time, and she was able to escape her horrible situation. And she is in hiding, and she is going around wherever she can to tell her story, to help give instruction to other women to keep them from experiencing the same horror that she did, what to do to prevent you from being a victim.
Right.
And the reason for the picture is that these individuals are still trying to track her down. So she is trying to be as careful as she possibly can to prevent people from being able to track her by, via electronic devices and so forth. So she has a Facebook group called Modern Slavery, Creating Awareness About Human Trafficking USA, where other folks besides herself can go there and tell about their own personal experience.
Yep.
And one of the things that I hate is that our government, the United States government, is just as mixed up in this from the aspect that they themselves are involved with the sex trade. When we're able to say that our government is behind the missing of over 80,000 young children and more, that, it's kind of like, you're telling the government to go after these bad guys who are doing things like they did to Suzanne, but they themselves are doing it. So why would they want anything to do with trying to bring these people to justice and to put a stop to it if they themselves are profiting from it? So Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom, will be with her. I'll be in the background doing absolutely nothing but keeping my mouth shut. Suzanne's going to take the mic, and she's going to tell her story. Jen has some very thoughtful, very I won't say humbling, but she has a way of being able to talk to people like her and to ask questions and to continue the narrative, so we can bring the awareness to women. So I have the permission of my commanding officer with the Carolina Grey Ghost to share her story to the South. So I'll be sharing it to all my Southern groups. And the reason why I chose that, and it's like I told Suzanne, and if there's anyone here watching that lives in the northern state, I apologize. But my experience, okay, for the past umpteen years of doing genealogy, all my clients come from the South. Okay, so I can talk from that aspect that the folks in the South, the men especially, they love and adore their women, their moms, their grandmoms, their wives, their daughters, their sisters. You can talk to them, and they just say so much nice and warmth, and that they will protect their women. Okay, and if you say anything bad, you're in deep trouble. So I thought that would be a great way to share her story to an audience of people who embrace their women and protect them. And I thought that'd be a great profile for
it. It will be a great broadcast. And you have Jen with you, who has done it, talked to Susan in interviews on other broadcasts before and done fantastically well. And Susan has been around. And Susan, are you still working on the book, or have you published the book? I know you're in the live chat this morning, but have you actually published the book, or have you finished the book? We'll wait for Susan to kick an answer in. Karen Johnson, you are welcome to the program. Karen tunes in every now and then, and a pleasure to have her on. But like I said, I know that Suzanne was working on a book. I don't know if she finished the book or then published it, or is still working on the book, but maybe I'll find out on Thursday, because I will be watching. And I recommend that all of you in the reach of Boogie with the Bull pay attention. Thursday, 7 o'clock. Catch Randy, Susan, and Jen, and learn something that you didn't know that you can use. And learning can be interesting. Go to the group also. Go to the group also. I got to scroll back again. Go to the group on Facebook, Modern Day Slavery, Creating Awareness About Human Trafficking USA. It is a private group, so you do have to apply for membership. When it comes to that, Suzanne is security conscious of everyone in the group, but the group gives a lot of information.
Yeah.
It does give a lot of information. Actually, thank you, Suzanne. You brought it down closer, made it easier. Modern Day Slavery, Creating Awareness About Human Trafficking USA. Like, go to the group as soon as we're done with the broadcast, and look around, and any questions that you might have, bring to their broadcast on Thursday, and hopefully you get a chance to ask them as well.
So, so along with that, as you folks know, I've been talking about getting my own broadcast started.
Yep.
So this Friday will be the start of that. So Friday, it's going to be, it's going to tag along with Suzanne's own personal experience in sex trade, sex slavery. This one here on Friday is going to be about slavery in general, and that uh, folks, slavery. When people think of slavery, they always think of the war between the North and the South. Okay, uh, and but slavery went way before that. There was slavery back when Jesus walked on Earth. There was slavery. Unfortunately, it boils down to you have this powerful nation that comes into your land because you have something that they want, and they go to war, and you get your ass kicked. Next thing you know, you're on your knees, and you got a chain wrapped around your neck, and you're now going to be their slaves to do their bidding. So slavery goes way back. Just unfortunately, in our mindset, especially with the liberal mindset, and you always have to think about the slaves from the war. And to a certain degree, guess, so I'm going to be taking this narrative for both good and bad. Slavery is bad. There's no doubt about that. Okay. So I'll be bringing in the dark side of that. But on the lighter side, the lighter side of that is that you have men and women who are slaves to their masters, who even after they were freed, they refused to leave because they really didn't have any other. They really didn't have any other lifestyle to go to. They knew this. They knew the plantation. They knew how to work it. So this one here, I'm going to be targeting is Morris Myers. He's going to be with me on the show, and so is Jen. And uh, uh, I hope it's Jen. I just thought that was Friday. Now she might not be able to,
Okay.
but so Morris Myers will be there. Morris Myers is the great grandson of this guy here. I've shown this picture before. He was a slave in his younger years, and there's an actual interview of him, of his experience. And even after he was freed, he and the other slaves stayed because maybe he'd call it the victim. Uh, what's it when the victim becomes so close to their attacker that they won't leave. I can't think of the name of it. Anyways, the slaves for this master, even when he became so sick he couldn't take care of himself, um, he they stayed to take care of him
Mm-hmm.
and to take care of the plantation. Eventually, this guy did leave. He found a woman. He got married, and he had 15 kids. So I'll be talking about him. I found others, actual audio and some video of interviews with other slaves. So I'll bring that into.
Good.
So the whole aspect of the idea of the show is to address this whole thing about slavery. My grandson saw that flag in a broadcast, right? And he doesn't talk to me because he thinks I support slavery because of what he was taught in school.
Yep.
That flag represents slavery. Well, when you see Morris Myers, you would see a black man living in Texas with that flag, okay, in his front yard. You're going to see him wearing a Confederate uniform because he still has love and respect for the South, even though he was a descendant of a slave. And he's going to tell his story as to why he still supports the South. So I hope everyone who's watching this broadcast will join us. He'll be, he's willing to take questions. Huh?
That's Friday at 7:00.
Correct. Friday at 7:00 Eastern time.
Right. Yep. Remember, all times are Eastern, so adjust yourself accordingly.
Yes, yes, yes. So, talking about Eastern, talking about Western, talking about North and South. So, as everyone may know or don't know, President Trump was in Scotland. Apparently, uh, uh, he owns property. Uh, maybe backtrack a little bit. You know how I've been saying that I would love to see us go back to monarchy for our type of political party. I would
Okay.
love to see us become a monarchy, especially right now with Trump, because Trump is all about the people. He's all about the security of the country. He's all about the wealth of the country. He's all about the power of the country. So I believe, would make a phenomenal king, and his children who have the exact same respect and love for this country would make great heirs into to continue the monarchy. Now I'm saying that because if you've taken notice, he's been, when he travels, he sees how other government leaders live, okay, and he sees their homes, he sees their government buildings, he sees the gold, the guild, the mastery of how they do their stuff, right? And he's bringing that into the White House. So when he took over this last time, he did a refacing parts of the White House to add in more gold. Okay, more gold. What's that? It's not real gold, but anyways. But if you see the portraits, the frames, the statuettes over, they're all more gold gilt. Okay,
Okay.
so he has this property over in Scotland that apparently is a couple hundred years old. And back in this heyday, it had the same appearance with all this gold, all this gilt, all this mastery of what a royal building would look like. But over the years, it has deteriorated. So he hired his men. I mean, he talks about it in an interview. He hired his men and said, "Look, this is what I want it to look like. This is how it used to look. Can you make it look like that, like it used to?" And they said, "Yes, we can." So he totally redid this one building back to the heyday with all the gold and so forth. So that's where he held this meeting with EU leaders, and he's bragging about it. Of course, he's a man. He's bragging. Oh, look at this! Don't you just love that? This is a phenomenon. So he's bragging about this building. But uh, one of the big things that came out of that, besides telling the European leaders, get your act together, or you're going to lose your country to the Muslims, he also came out of it with a multi-trillion-dollar trade deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, coming to the United States, right? So all this business, all this money is coming back to our country, because before it was reversed. It was going to them, and they were getting the money, and they were getting the business, and our country was hurting for it because we had idiots in the White House. So now, with Trump doing what Trump does best, which makes a good deal, he has these trillions of dollars coming back to our own country, and that's
The only problem, as I've said, the only problem that I have with a king is that a king passes on and a king or queen replaces them. And you have to assume that King Donald Jr. is identically the same as his father. And he can have the same views and the same opinions, but he's not his father. Eric can have the same feelings, but he's not his father. Ivanka's the same. We go through all of them. Tiffany's not the same. Barron may not be the same. I think Barron very much will be his own man if he gets into politics. He doesn't seem to have much of an interest at 19 years old. So who knows? But, then other things come into the conversation that George Washington, the first president, had the chance to be king, and he basically said no because that's what we just left. So maybe it's a longer presidential term tied into a longer congressional term, if that's what you want, but it's not making it a king. It's just giving a president the same amount of time to do what they want, but you give the Democrats the same to do their time, more time to turn it around if they win in 2028. So I hear what you're saying. I just don't know what I personally agree with. But you're welcome to the View, and anyone else that joins us is welcome to the View. Boogie with the Bull, Monday morning caffeine, 10 a.m. we start. Wednesday, 10 a.m. we start. Friday, 10 a.m. we start with Red Friday morning caffeine. Remember, everyone.
Oh, I did I did hear back from Captain Bill Muckley. I did hear from him yesterday. He reached out to me. I had
Good.
well, God, a long time ago reached out to him to see how he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He finally got back to me and he said that he has a long road ahead of him.
Yep.
And that was all he said.
I know he read it only because I saw his picture. I didn't look for an answer. Only because, like I said, I saw that he had read it. I didn't know what he had going on right now. And last night, I was tied up on some other things. But yeah, and anytime he feels up to it, he is more than welcome. He knows to join us on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think the 7 o'clocks are generally too late for him, but he knows that he is welcome to join us anytime he feels. And what else do you got?
So, you know how I'm always talking about life after death, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm getting older and I'm starting to, think about what's next in my life. But and it's not that I'm certain, and I said this before as well. It's not that I'm actively searching for life after death experiences, but for some reason, my computer must be tuned into my brain waves, and it keeps popping up these various stories about life after death. So here is a documented, medically documented experience of a woman who died for 17 minutes. 17 minutes, okay?
Yep.
She collapsed while she was exercising, and people were frantically working over her, okay? But for 7 minutes, she had died. And when they finally brought her back, then after they brought her back, she was in a coma for a few days. And then when they brought her out of the coma, she was able to tell the doctors exactly what they were doing and where they were standing, because her spirit had left the body, and she said she was floating over her body, looking down, and she was able to see everything that doctors were doing before they actually finally brought her back to life. Um, she did say that everything was black. She didn't see any like angels or bright white light, nothing like that. She just had essentially looking down and seeing what was going on. And uh, so now she'll probably write a book and have a movie about her. But the point I'm trying to say is that we don't know what is next for us.
We don't. Which is why my problem with death is that it's a touchy subject, only because I don't know. Do you lay in a box forever and sleep? Do you go up somewhere? Do you go down somewhere? Do you there's 8 million possibilities. And if my relatives are only seeing a black room in between, does that mean they're waiting to find out where they're going? I'm just throwing that out as an option.
I mentioned to you about my own personal experiences with life after death, and uh, I believe that there's both heaven and hell,
Mhm.
because my brother, he had a three-way heart bypass, and while he was on the table, he died numerous times. And every time they brought him out of that, every time they tried to bring him out of the anesthesia, he passed away. So they had to put him into a medical
Mhm.
coma, and he was there for a long time. They finally brought him out, and his first words to me was he experienced this feeling of falling downward in a tunnel, and that from
Wow.
all sides of him, his hands coming out, reaching out to grab him. So I said, Mike, I believe you experienced, going to hell. Now, my dad, when he was in his death throes, um, he was in bed and he started talking to all the family members who died before him.
Mhm.
And from what I understand, from what I've read, is that what happens is when your time comes, if you're a believer, uh, your deceased family members can come to you to take your hand
Mhm.
and welcome you into the next event, which is heaven, and they'll actually walk with you, you know,
Mhm.
there. Uh, so my dad was having this conversation with my grandmother, and
I
she.
I I appreciate your view on that. In my particular case, I remember going through a tunnel at birth because of all the baggage that I ended up bringing into this world with me. And just remember God saying, no, it's not your time. And then another time later in life, hemorrhaging and to go find a nurse to help me and passing out before I got out of the room. And God saying to me again, no, it's not your time. Actually, he said, no, it's not your time, David. And, you know, that's That's all I remember. I would like to know what my father saw, but he wanted to be by himself when it happened, and he was because that's what he asked for, and don't know what he saw because he couldn't tell me. You know,
Hmm. Yeah, um, no one knows what is the next for us. A lot of people say that what's inside this shell of a body is a spirit uh, that is just there for a time period. You know, when you think about speaking from the Bible, um, all the prophets and so forth, and how long they lived. I mean, they lived supposedly, if you take the Bible at its worth, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Uh, uh, and of course, Adam and Eve, they lived for a very long period of time too, if you believe in Adam and Eve. But there are those in other countries who live to be 110, 115 or older. It's just simply because of the lifestyle they live, the food they eat. They say to drink wine. Wine's going to extend your life expectancy, and so forth. Um, you know, it's just amazing how some folks drop dead when they're young. Some folks lived you know, 115 years of age. Um, I'm hoping I'm one of those who live that long, but you never know. Uh, I don't know what does anyone in the audience what do they think? Hello.
I don't know if there would be an answer to it. I always thought 120 would be nice because everybody said the DNA in your body was designed to last 120 years. So I wanted to be here for 120 years to see if that was true. But by the same token, I tell people I'm having so much fun being here that, the idea of laying in a box forever doesn't seem to be of any interest.
Speaking of that, I saw, and again, folks, I'm not actively looking online for life that's a death experience. I really am not. So I don't know how the hell this World Wide Web is finding this shit to send to me. But I saw this damn video of this guy owns this property. Okay, I don't know how many acres of land, but it's really nice. Beautiful trees and flowers and stuff. And people can choose, instead of being dying and being placed into a box, put into a ground, that you can have your body taken to this area and become fertilizer for the damn plants and flowers. So they show this body that's wrapped up in this material laying exposed on top of the ground next to all these pretty flowers and plants and stuff. So as the body deteriorates, it feeds these damn plants. I was like, oh my God. I have to think, what keeps wild animals from going in? And this guy has traps set, but what keeps wild animals from going in there and taking bits and pieces of the other person's body? But yeah, and I've seen others where you're placed inside this special box, and you get chomped up, and you just spit out as a liquid. It's like, oh my God.
There was the guy on Shark Tank who pitched a business, and I don't know how successful it's been going on, that you are cremated and your ashes are pressed very hard into diamonds or other jewelry that you can wear of your dearly departed. I don't know.
God, what do you think of it? Isn't that a pretty ring? Oh, it's so beautiful. No, it's not a diamond. That's my dad.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could see that. One of my grandsons, my granddaughter, taking the ring off and going, "No, that's my grandfather."
Oh God! Oh, okay. You know what? I gotta take a moment here, and I got it. I gotta Google this. Hold on.
Okay.
Just give me a moment, okay?
Okay. It's it goes with what you think the afterlife is going to be, which may be based on what you want the afterlife to be and what the afterlife is. A lot of people believe that we go to a different plane and live the same way but differently. So I mean, I don't really know. I wish it could be for them. And this will be an ongoing discussion. It won't just be today. This could go forever. So Wednesday morning, Friday morning, we might talk about it more. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, we might talk about it more. Thursday night, Randy and Jen and their interview with Suzanne. And Friday, Randy's interview with Morris Myers.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God.
Go ahead.
So Mark Cuban bought 15% of the company for $600,000. He and then Mark and Robert teamed up to counter with the 1 million. Then Kevin and Larry came in also, and then they were fighting over this damn business. So finally, oh my God, finalized. Mark Cuban invests $600,000 for 9% equity in that company, and it's like you said. What? Oh my God! What the company has so far had $10 million in sales.
Well,
So it's what you said. They take your ash in your hair and they compress it and make it into jewelry. Oh my god!
Mhm.
Oh, that.
Well, it's not. The guy didn't pitch it as a morbid idea. He just said, "Yeah, you know, it is my grandfather and he or my grandmother or whoever, and they will always be with me. And if that is something that you want, that is something you should have. If you always want that person with you, so it's not a bad thing. It's just different a different thing rather than my you know, a descendant of ours saying, I want his body so that he'll always be with me. That would be kind of morbid to me.
They also have it for pets.
I want to have him right. I want to have him stuffed and have him with me. We had a Saint Bernard growing up that my father.
You're growing a lab-grown diamond. In general, you're using carbon, heat, and pressure above ground. And so what we've done is.
Do you want to see the video of it?
Yeah, we can show the video of it. Hang on,
Hang on. Let me get it here.
Bring you back over here. Okay.
Ba ba bee bee ba. Oh, there's okay. Ba 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 bee ba. Okay. You brought me a little bit too early, buddy. But that's okay.
Okay, that's fine. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
There it is. Are you ready? All right. Well, the name is Eterneva, Eterneva, and you can look that up if you wish and follow along. I mean, it is an interesting way to preserve your loved one, if that again is
Okay.
It isn't okay. It's modern technology, but it is an interesting way to preserve your loved one and have them near you if that is what you want to do. And there is nothing.
Well, you have the folks who get your ashes and put it into a nice urn, and here this urn sits, and God forbid someone knocks over and all the ash fall out, and you use a vacuum cleaner to clean it up. I don't. I'd be.
Well,
I don't know. Hi, this is Claudette, my wife. Yeah. Isn't she pretty? Wow. Okay. Yeah. So thank you for bringing it up to me. Anyways, so moving along. Only in India, okay, can this take place?
only in India.
Okay. This little child, 2 years old, okay, outside playing in the yard, and here comes this 3-foot cobra. Now, most folks would run the opposite direction or run for a pitchfork and try and kill it. This 2-year-old toddler grabs the damn snake, puts the head of it into his mouth, and bites the head off.
And lives.
And lives.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not something that I would do, but if.
Come on, Dave! You won't bite the head off a cobra snake. Come on.
No, I might coexist with the snake, but I'm scared of most snakes, even ones that it's okay to be with. I'm scared of it. I'm scared of, just because I'm scared of snakes.
Oh my God! I gotta share this. How is this for timing, Dave? How is this for freaking timing? We're talking about snakes, right?
Hold on, I gotta look at the cameras.
We're talking about snakes, and guess what pops up on my damn newsreel?
Well, they're listening to us.
They have to be.
They are. They are. They are. Because they want.
They have to be watching us, Dave.
Hold
I mean,
on.
come on, how is this for timing?
Okay.
This is Ring doorbell, okay? Ring doorbell. And the Ring doorbell is activated. So the guy looks at his camera. What do you freaking see? First off, where in the hell does this guy live for a snake to be that long to activate the camera?
Well,
I think it's a nice neighborhood and all, but holy smokes.
I think there was probably more involved in that that someone brought the snake over and the snake was no longer with us, and they featured the snake in a video. But as far as do they listen to you? Do they listen to us? Yeah, they do. I'm sorry, but they do. And I've said before that, being on a phone call that took place on Messenger in audio, a person that knows me from my limo days and I were on the phone talking about cars, and that person said to me, if you were still working, it'd be your turn to buy a car, right? And I said, well, I'm the only one that works for me now. So yeah, what would you buy? So I told him a Mercedes-Benz R350 and in a particular color, particularly equipped. And then I went to Messenger and Marketplace. And without doing any kind of a search, the first 15 cars were exactly what I had told that person about. And everywhere from places that I could go that, God forbid, I could afford one, would finance me, and a couple of places that I'm not sure how they ended up on the list, but they did. So
I know
if they want you to, sometimes they're trying to help you, and sometimes they're not. And I don't know.
I carry my phone with me everywhere I go, primarily because I've been falling quite a bit. My knees buckle and I fall, so I especially take my phone when I go outside. But my point is that I guess this is because of the settings I have on my phone that is constantly listening to keywords that I might say by accident. And the next thing you know, it's talking to me or it's making phone calls for me. Say, and the worst thing is that I'm not sure why, but when my damn phone makes these arbitrary phone calls, I'm trying to stop the ringing, trying to hang up the phone, and it just won't freaking hang up. Finally, the people answer the phone, and that's when I finally get it to where it hangs up. So I have to text guy. I'm sorry, butt call. Ha ha ha.
I've learned calling people back, listening to their spiel, and saying, "Please don't call me again," is an open invitation for them to call you again.
Yes,
just deleting it, reporting it as spam, and hoping that you don't get it again, you would think would be the way it should be, but they call you from one number and you block it, and they call you from another number tomorrow and you have to block it from that number, and it just becomes a game, really.
I mean, I found even so, I got our 3 phone numbers on the do not call list, and it still breaks through.
Yeah.
But what I like is as they're spewing off their thing, right? My number is only do not call this, and hang up.
Well, the important thing is I wish I could do that, or I could turn the volume down, which I do anyway. Donna will say to me as we walk into a doctor's office, make sure your phone is off. And I turn the volume down, and then it's down for 3 days. And then, I go through, up. It's down for 3 days. But then Donna says, did you get that call from whoever? And I have to go look. And sure enough, I missed that call that I wanted from whoever because I didn't want to deal with all the quote unquote BS calls that, I wish I didn't get, but nobody cares. So they make sure that I get all those BS calls anyway. And it's just not going to change. And I don't know what the answer is other than my phone being taken away from me and given to me only when I need it. Just like
no, Mr. Glovin, today you cannot have your phone. You have to wait until tomorrow, Mr. Glovin.
But it's kind of like I joke with people every once in a while that when I finally get sent to the old man's home, I'll be there, but without the power supply to whatever laptop I bring or my Chromebook, which can't do it anyway, and I'll still sit there and think I'm doing an hour and a half Boogie with the Bull because that's what I do. So, you just do what you think you can do, and if people like it, they watch it, and if they don't, they don't. And if they want to be on it, they are more than welcome to be on it. They know the 5 times a week I do it. They know the people I do it with. I'm being told that I'm going into too much detail, but everybody knows everything because I know everything, and I've always been very detailed when it comes to being detailed. Because I figure that if I give you all of the information floating around in my head, I will get an answer that takes all of that into account. Because that's what I want you to do. Because if you don't, and then you just do something, it's either going to be wrong when you give it back to me, or it's going to be wrong when you give it back to me because you missed one detail. That's just what I think. Not everybody is like that. You can say, hey, just do this, and they will do it. That's what delegation should be. Hey, Red, just do this. Hey, Jen, just do this.
That's like I had, I was getting ready to go outside to check my mail thing or something, and then this young guy was walking up to my door. Obviously he was selling something, right? And I saw his shirt. His shirt said Vivint, so he was there to sell me Vivint, which is a security system, right? Mm-hmm. And I was I was feeling ornery, so I did security for like 20 years, right?
Right.
So I want to hear this guy's this guy's sales pitch, right? So I invited him inside the house, gave him some ice water. And he started going to his pitch about how great his Vivid security is and the camera system and how it works. And I said, well, I have Ring doorbell. Oh, you do? You see, and he kept going back to his camera. And my camera. I have a night vision. My camera as well. Yeah. Yep. I also have with my Ring doorbell. I have wide angle lens. Oh, okay. And I said, look, sir, I've sold security for 20 years. I've worked for like 6 different companies, so I know how it works. What is your bottom line? If I were to switch today to you, what would it cost me? And he said, well, sir, we cannot use any of your devices. I have a complete security system for my house. I have the doors, the windows, the motions, everything, right? And he said it'd be $3,000. I said, well, that's not happening. Thank you for your time, though.
Sometimes people don't listen, and they don't listen because they're not interested in the $6,000 worth of equipment you have. They want to sell you the $3,000 worth of equipment that they have, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I hate car salesmen because they will tell you that and then try to push you into a new car that has what you want. And the only reason they want that is so that when they repo it from you, they can sell it as a used car. Because if I walk in the lot and I go, that one right there, although I shouldn't have bought that one right there. We can talk about that one later. That's why we don't have a Cadillac anymore. But
Yeah, I don't know if it's the way I was raised or if I have my dad's sensibility. But when I'm looking to buy something, and I have money, to buy something, I know what I want. I know what I can afford. I know what I like. So I'll go into a situation and I already have in my mind what I'm going to do. And no matter what you're trying to say otherwise, I'm not going to listen to your pitch. I know I want that. That's what I can afford.
Right.
Sell it to me. No, I don't need that. No, I don't need. You're not listening.
well, it's the same thing. I think I got that from my dad. I know what I want, and this is what I'm here to buy. And then I got from my mother's father, my grandfather, that I have $1,000 in my pocket, so I have $1,000 to spend on what I want. And if you want to sell me what I want, then we can do business. But
Yeah.
not this, sell me this to do this, sell me this to do that, sell me this to do that, and sometimes I play that game. Okay, cool. I get home and I put it all on my desk, and it doesn't do what I want it to do at all, and I'm upset. But
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the great one looking down at me and laughing because I didn't ask him what I should have bought.
Right. I mean, that's like when it comes to printers. Okay. I am still. And I probably will never be able to afford one, but I print a lot of stuff out, and I want to be able to offer to my clients for genealogy the ability to print out these books that you can't find anywhere else except for online where I can find them, and but they're like several hundred pages. I would love to be able to print these things out in quality paper and bind them and so forth. Here, this is a nice thing for you to hand down, right? But I mean, obviously, the printer is going to cost a shitload of money, and you can't take these books to a printer because legally they themselves are not allowed to print out, even though it's no longer in circulation.
Mm.
They are not legally allowed to print out these books for a person. So so here I am stuck with a Canon printer, a LaserJet or my HP printer. And I blow through ink 2-3 times a month.
Yep.
And it's like, I mean, you're talking $60 a pop for black and color ink. It's like, I would love to offer this but unless my client's willing to pay for the extra service, I can't afford it.
That's where they get you, especially on ink, where they sell you black ink, color ink, and a printer. And if you never use the color ink, why should you have to buy color ink? But we got to a point where it was actually cheaper to look at the Walmart Black Friday sale and see which printer was on sale, because the one that was on sale that we could afford would have been the same price as buying ink for the new one. But then you end up with a closet full of printers.
Yeah.
Each time you do that, or you end up with a dumping station, which is my fault, but you end up with a dumping station because it sits on my desk, and because it doesn't work, it just throws everything on top of it, which is stuff I really don't need anyway, or could put someplace else. But
and that's just like I wanted to sign up for ink delivery to the house, right? It was a decent deal, right?
Yep.
So I said, "Oh, you qualify for a free printer." right? So, and I should have looked into it further, but it was from HP, so it wasn't, it was a company. And I said, okay, so I'll take your free. So the printer showed up the friggin' next day on my doorstep. All right. So here's this beautiful HP printer. It had all kinds of special features onto it. And all you had to do was buy the ink. At least that's how it read. And after the second month, you need to start making monthly payments on the printer because the printer is not free. Wait a minute.
Free is never free.
And I raised holy hell, and they said, well, if you send it back to us, we'll cancel the agreement. Luckily, I kept the box that it came in, so I sent it back to them. But it's like, no, it was not free.
Free is never free.
And they did return the money to me, so that was cool. So
that was probably an act of Congress too.
Yeah. But anyways, Bucky, I gotta get going here. It's going 11:30. But once again, a good show. We had I don't think we had any other than my losing audio for a moment, which was my fault.
I wasn't upset at you. I just was upset that all of a sudden it didn't work, and my brain is like, okay, try to figure it out.
Yeah,
and I couldn't figure it out because I start pushing buttons on my end, and that's the worst thing I can do at my point. Right now, is start pushing buttons because.
Yeah, my microphone.
Anyway, we got it figured out. Like you said.
Yeah, my microphone has like this 20-foot long cable because that's what I bought. I bought way too much, so I have it, nicely, neatly wrapped up and twisty tight. And if I move the microphone a little bit too far, it pulls the cord out, and that's what happened. But okay, so folks, here we go. Closing comments. The Thursday of this week, 7:00 p.m. Please join us for Suzanne Arcado and her story of the horrific experience she went through sex trade. It's going to be probably 2 hours. Jen Woodruff, the homecoming mom, homeschooling mom. Hey, quiet. Homeschooling mom will be joining us, and she'll be asking the questions and so forth. And I'll just be sitting here in the background doing the whole editor kind of job. And then Friday of this week at 7 p.m., we'll be talking about slavery during the war between the North and the South. Now, take notice, I say the war between the North and the South and not the Civil War. The Civil War is what Yankees call it because that's what they call it. And it was nothing civil about it at all. It was an invasion of the South. So the people who live in the South and support the South will refer to it as the war between the North and the South or the war for independence. That's what the people in the South call it. So Tuesday, 7 p.m., I'll be here with Dave Glovin on Boogie the Bow. Thursday is going to be my broadcast with Suzanne Arcado. Friday's going to be my broadcast with Morris Myers, who was a descendant of slavery. And I have one slot left on my genealogy. If you're looking to get your genealogy done, I'm extremely cheap. Just reach out to me. If you need referrals, I'd be more than happy to give you all the referrals in the world. So I have so many. Otherwise, also, I'm in the process. Dave, I don't know if you took notice. Let me quick get this here. I'm in the process of getting rid of 2 of my groups, and I'm making it. What am I calling it? I'm calling it. So I'm getting rid of my all roads lead to honoring our ancestors, and all roads lead to discover ancestors. I'm making it one group called All Roads Lead to Honoring, Discovering Our Ancestors' Genealogy.
Cool.
So I already told my folks, hopefully they're reading and watching because I'm going to start deleting them. That is so stupid. That the only way to shut down one is to delete everybody.
Yep. It's a painstaking process. I have done it before.
I'm just glad I don't have 1,000 followers.
Right.
So with that, Dave,
Okay.
see you tomorrow night. Take
All right,
care.
Randy. The count of 3. There it goes. All right. Randy Rhodes, all roads lead to home genealogy, as he said. Quite simply, he's the best at what he does. And he's the cheapest too. So talk to him and he will be able to help you. Let's see. Today is Monday, so Wednesday is another me and Randy. Friday is another me and Randy, but it starts with remember everyone deployed, Red Friday, and then it goes into the conversation that it goes into. You're welcome to be a part. You're welcome to join the broadcast if you want. Tuesday, I guess it's me and Randy at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Thursday, it is Randy, Jen, and Suzanne Accardo. And that interview. And then Friday, Randy and Morris Myers. So you want to be sure that you catch those. Anyway, I don't have much else to say. I think I said it all. So, no, I don't want to end it that way. It will end it, but that's not really how I wanted to end it. We'll give you double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull has come to an